Okay, to take us further into the conversation, can I take you to church? Can I take you to church? In church, we say, are you ready to go deeper? And so today we are going deeper into the conversation. The person who is going to be speaking to us next for our first keynote address is a vision, a purposeful person whose impact is reflected in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome, joining us virtually, Dr. Chizor.
A transformative business leader and ESG champion with over 25 years of impact across financial services, energy, and consulting. As MD CEO of FITC, she drives policy advocacy, thought leadership, and capacity development while shaping the future of Nigeria's financial sector. With a senior leadership experience at Access Bank and global brand transformation work through Brand Zone Consulting, she has spearheaded innovation and international recognition and serves on key industry boards. She is a respected scholar and keynote voice. She remains deeply committed to youth empowerment, gender inclusion, sustainability, and enterprise growth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Chizor Malize, MD CEO, FITC.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Doctor.
Hello. I did not have the privilege of a fascinator, but I'm going to also give you my own little fascinating background. So just bear with me. And I'm very delighted to be here. I'm very, very, very proud of the great work. I do hope that you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just let me know.
Yes.
Can you? I see the beautiful.
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, Doctor, we can.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I would also like to confirm if you've got my slides to share. If you do not have it, I'm happy to speak without you putting it up. All right, thank you. Great. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much for getting the slides going. I also would like to use this opportunity to commend the fantastic work that you are all doing. It's not all the time that you find a visionary leader who, in her own capacity, holds her day job and is building and creating this sort of platform that is bringing experts, visionary leaders, other thought leaders to connect with the talent leaders all over the world. So well done, well done. I call her doctor of the entire Africa because she's just not to Nigeria, but she's giving herself to the whole of the continent. Now, I'm delighted to be speaking to us on redefining organizational leadership using three very solid pillars around purpose, vision, and people power. My dear sister Folashade had started so well by giving us such an inspiring opening, which I am delighted to have listened to and have been a part of. And as usual, she has set the tone for a beautiful conversation. So in addition to that welcome and opening by the founder, this is already two great women ahead. So riding on that, I would like to share with you some tips and ideas and thoughts around how we can find purpose, build vision, and connect with people to develop more, be more, and do more. And so please, as we proceed, you can just carry on for sure. I do have my own slides as well, and as much as possible, you probably would be catching up with me. But let's just find a way to make it work together, okay? All right. Thank you. Okay, so I love to speak about leadership in a way. Please go ahead and put your slide up. Do you want me to wait? Okay. I always oftentimes like to speak about leadership in a way that connects with people. The biggest part is, to what degree are we replicating ourselves and creating other people like us? The success of leadership is oftentimes in the way that either we as most senior persons or some other people within our organization are all as important as one another. The encouragement is that institutions and organizations must not only replicate themselves, but replicate diverse talents within platforms, so that if at any time any single individual leaves the organization, the struggle is not in filling the role, but the struggle should be in outdoing the previous. And so keep going for me, Funsho. Thank you very much. And so in speaking around the subject matter about leadership today, it would be nice that we take a look at some organizations that have faced devastating leadership changes or stable leadership, but even in the midst of all of that, they thrived. When we speak about an organization like Guarantee Trust Bank, for some it may be news, for some they may be familiar with the journey. Some of us who worked in financial services sector, especially myself for quite some decades, found a Guarantee Trust Bank that made waves so much in the late 90s up until the early 2000s and sustained it unto today. When Fola Diola created a group of very young and dynamic persons, pulled all of them to start what we know as GT Bank, it was such a fantastic brand, still is a great brand, but we've seen so much transformation from what he did all the way to what we saw happened even with Segun Agbaje, and today also with Maury. Now, these great leaders have done so much that at every point in time, they are driving leadership principles that outlive them. We've also seen the experiences with Apple, where a lot of people just kept wondering what's going to happen when we do not have Steve. But today we have Tim, and Apple still remains the strongest brand. I had the privilege of bringing it home because I worked for an organization called Access Bank. And over the years, we've seen some significant leadership changes from Ike to Herbert and Roosevelt and Bolaji, all of them doing great things. At FITC, where I am the managing director today, we've also seen 5 solid chief executive officers from one step to another over the 44 years, average of 10 years for each, doing great things, building the organization, and sustaining the organization. Oftentimes, the secret is that these organizations are embedded in purpose, vision, and the sort of leadership that recognizes the role of people. Thank you, Funsho. If you can just slide forward. Now, in the midst of all of this, these organizations that we have spoken about oftentimes leverage what? No matter the shift in their leadership, they are also oftentimes a kind of control from the center, where also creativity is encouraged. Such creativity encourages that all of the actions and activities of success do not reside in one single individual. You have the experiences where there are other leaders who have been shaped and formed across levels, top to bottom, to do great things at every level. And like we always say in FITC, leadership is not about the role, leadership is not about the top, leadership is about everyone doing. Leadership is about everybody being a part of the drive through vision, through purpose, and through collaboration. And so HR and talent managers are oftentimes encouraged, and that's what I personally encourage, to drive institutions and organizations that recognizes leadership and ensures that leadership cascades and is owned by a diverse people, that it's a culture thing and that everybody is involved because everybody manages a team. Now, going forward also, in leadership, in today's reality, I would share these three pillars of framework that we would love to deliberate on today. And I would also share some thoughts in terms of the way organizations and individuals can leverage that to be able to drive and do more than survive, but thrive. I'd like to start with purpose. Purpose, they say, is what drives everything. First and foremost, it directs the decisions that we make. But purpose, as I always love to share, comes from internal. If organizations are able to define purpose and align also in a way that we're able to meet and serve the individuals, then it is easy for us to actively drive leadership. Leadership that means we are from even the onset of recruitment, finding people whose vision and purpose align to where the organization would like to go. I'll share an example that is real, working with some great leaders over the years. Sometimes over 15 years ago or more, I had the privilege of working with Tony Elumelu. When I got to sit with this visionary, and I'm speaking about, that's 20 years as a matter of fact. Yeah, 18 years ago. In creating a blueprint and a vision about where he wants to go, it was very clear that at Standard Trust Bank, at this time, we are not even UBA. There is so much clear direction about what he wants to do within the financial service sector, what his personal and individual purpose means, and how he wants to bring that to bear in what he is doing in the financial service sector. I'm speaking about a bank that was at about 80 out of 89 Nigerian banks, because this was prior to consolidation. Unwind post-consolidation, taking over UBA to become top 3 bank in Nigeria, and today in 24 African countries. Nothing about what Tony Elumelu shared with me in 2003 has changed. He's lived that purpose, both in the way that he recruits, both in the ways that he created the organizational guidelines, both in the way that he sold this purpose to other people, both in the ways that there are engagements, internal and external, and through such leadership, significant culture was built. And so today, looking back at those great days, it is so easy to relate with what somebody has built and how he has also translated and connected that with other individuals across different continents of the world today. Now, and we speak about vision as well. I'll talk about vision from the perspective of individuals, and then I'll connect that also to organization. And from the perspective of individual, it is having clarity in terms of where you want to go and where you want to be. I oftentimes share my vision, and I say to everyone that cares to listen, several years ago, even as a child, even as a young teenager, I often saw myself at the helm of leadership. For every book that I read, I'll take Manhattan. For every movie that I watched, I saw leaders, and I just kept thinking, hey, I'm definitely going to be like this, shaping people, shaping minds, building institutions, translating and transforming people, transforming organizations, driving in a way that I deliver impact. That vision has led me several years because I have been very consistent with what I saw even as a young person. From my teenage life to adult life, education, career, family, I never look away from that vision. What is very important is that the vision speaks to us on a daily basis and inspires us to be what we want to be, and more importantly, to lead others to greatness. And so when we bring that to institutions, it creates a compelling future for the organization. In 2000, about 15 years ago again, when I had the privilege to work in Access Bank, Eigen Herbert has just taken over a regional bank, which used to be an old bank predominantly on the western Nigeria, predominantly in what used to be called Old States. The vision at that time was to make Access Bank from the regional banking license that they bought to a national bank. Today, it's become international. That's through intentionality. That's through ownership, which they made every single one of us see. They made all of us understand their vision. They told the stories of their journey. They told us where they were going with Access Bank. When I had the privilege of working in 8 countries across Africa, developing and building and launching the Access Bank brand from Zambia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Gambia, Rwanda, it was the same story that it told that propelled all of us to continue to carry their vision, to continue to drive with the spirit of ownership that they demonstrated, to continue to drive in perfect alignment with regards to where Please confirm to me that you can hear me and that I'm still in the meeting. When you're virtual, you just have to be certain. And if I see any hand raised, just the reaction, I'll be able to tell. Am I still super? Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Ayo. I'm delighted. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad that I am with you. I was speaking about vision, and I was also talking about how, as an individual, I was able to build alignment with the sort of vision and others had and be able to make significant impact across the African countries, working and taking on those vision. And I think that the good thing about it is it's not also by accident, because when I look back and think about the fact that I had the privilege of planting what is UBA across a minimum of 5 African countries and planting what was Access Bank, is still Access Bank today, across a minimum of 6 African countries, that speaks to the fact that these institutions that I have named had clear vision, sold the vision, ensure that they were not only owners, but they built other owners by driving ownership amongst all of us who they created as leaders. So for leaders in the room, I've shared with you how you can be that visionary who not only shares your vision, but create other owners of your vision. And for those who are not visionaries, who are following other visions, because we all must not be the ones founding the businesses, align yourselves to the vision of other people and give of yourself through ownership, through positive alignment, just so that you can be certain that there is achievement collaboratively and together. Then I'll share with you the role of people in all of this. There isn't a lot that we can do without people. Oftentimes, I believe that people are the most powerful asset all over the world. And that's not by accident, because people are humans, and humans are creatures by the Almighty. God did not make any mistake when he created all the beautiful things and made people in his image and likeness. So it is to that regard that people are powerful tools created by God, planted on earth to make things happen. So this is the reason why people are powerful, and this is the reason why people are catalysts, and these are the reason why only people can unlock potentials, both for organizations and for personal dreams. So on a personal note, I encourage people to unlock their own potentials, maximize their potentials, discover themselves, understand who they are and what they bring to the table, understand also that they can replicate themselves in other people, understand that they are not here on this planet for a journey just for themselves, but to not only excel, but to hold other hands so that many more would also excel. Having spoken around people, I also encourage institutions to recognize that people are the most powerful tools and assets that they have. So, what this means is we must invest in our people. We must deliberately and intentionally teach our people to discover themselves, to be great leaders themselves, to work as fantastic team members, and not encourage lone rangers. Oftentimes, some people want to shine and shine alone and take all the glory for great things that they've done, but please take glory for great things that we've done. We rather than I, collaboration rather than standalone, partnerships rather than silos. And again, agility is one thing that I encourage leaders. Agility in leadership is very critical. It enables people to adapt. It enables leaders to be quick to action, to ensure that there is speed in terms of the ability to create messages, communicate the direction, bring clarity in what they want to do, and build teams of inspired and inspiring people to ensure that the vision is also driven. Now, how does that work? Through inclusion and ensuring that everyone around us has a sense of belonging, feel confident in the direction that we are going with them, have a good understanding of what we would like them to do, and have a good understanding of the fact that they are adding significant value to our process, to our systems, and to our organization. What that does is it gives everybody the confidence to be a part of what we are doing. Again, coaching helps also, and that works mostly when we are able to, as leaders, establish authenticity, when we're able to, as leaders, demonstrate that we mean what we say and we do what we say. We do not do different from what we say, that we drive transparency, that we drive honesty, that we drive integrity, and then we build institutions that people can have trust in. And so, when the individuals who work with us as leaders see that we're setting the right steps and we're doing the right things, it's only natural that they follow. So coaching by being super authentic and fostering significant amount of followership. Now, how does these three apply to human capital managers? As much as we have shared, it comes from driving leadership transformation in a way that every single practitioner, such as yourself, from the administrative roles to all of those in leadership already, forming strategy and all of that, understands that leadership must be transformational, that there must be strategy-led leadership, so people have clarity in terms of direction, in terms of well-integrated purpose, vision, and people, that it is also important that we are driving leadership through data and insights so that there is clarity in direction for people. I often believe in the power of data. I use data to indicate where we've gone wrong, where we've done well, where there are gaps, and where there are opportunity. There can't be any change management that is not data-driven. But for any single time we want to make change, let's ensure that there is adequate communication as talent managers. Okay. Yeah? Now, in going forward also, I would also love to share that for talent managers who are in the room, there are still so much available resources that we would be able to use to develop the people who are in our care, other talent managers that we are supervising, and the entire institution that we have responsibility for. Now, I would share some experiences with regards to FITC. And so at this time, I would love to share about some of the things that we have done around people. We have developed what is a fantastic 6P framework at FITC. And so in closing, I would like to share our 6P framework, and I would close that with people. Yeah. Funsha, I would come to these immediate actions for HR, and then we'll close with that. Please keep on that slide, but I'd love to share a few things around. No, keep on your three framework. I'll come back to that. I just wanted to be able to share a few insights around our 6P framework at FITC, and hoping that leaders will borrow from that as I close with actions. When we developed our 3P framework, a 6P framework at FITC, it was driven by new leadership when I took over the leadership of FITC. It was also driven by the fact that we must be intentional and strategic about the next 5 years. And so, in surveying all of our industry, which is where insight comes in, local, global, the financial service sector that we support, and the realities of post-COVID. We started with a P, through which we reviewed all of our programs, looking for ways to make them innovative, dynamic, and future-focused. That P represents our program or products, and that's basically our offerings to the marketplace. We're able to re-engineer that, putting people at the core, people in terms of the industries and the people that we serve, and as well as the ones that are also internal to us. One of the great things that we did was also to look at our process, using that P to ensure that we recreated our process in a manner that is innovative, cutting edge, and technology driven. We also looked at another P that is very important to us, and that's our positioning. We recreated and started to tell a fantastic story about the organization, again, about the people who run FITC. And that's not just leadership, but the people doing the work every single day, everyday people, our every champion and winners across the diverse unit. We were very, very deliberate also about our performance. We totally recognize that at the end of the day, no matter what we put out, the ultimate is the performance that comes out of all of those investments. Another P that was most important to us became people, and that's the final P. We're deliberate about ensuring that the right people are in FITC. It wasn't going to be a stopping place for people who are not ready to drive the vision and the purpose that we have defined. We're happy to be with people who are not only agile, but who are equally visionary, who are happy to understand the vision and buy into it, who have the strength and dynamism to bust old thinking and pick forward thinking. All of this helped significantly to bring about the sort of transformation that we have led in FITC. And I speak about that in closing about the visionary leadership and transformational leadership, which indeed is my mandate to you talent managers. And as I wrap up on this last slide, I would like to share 3 immediate actions that I think would help you. Build culture that is very positive, and ensure that leadership not only drives the culture, but shares that culture in a way that individuals understand it, evaluate it, buy into it, and drive acculturation around the institutions. Some institutions are not very lucky They have either gone through several majors, you have 3 or 4 institutions in one, or they have hired so much from different places that even the new entrants think they have superior culture. After a while, you find institutions that have two diverse cultures you do not know where you are being pulled to. The charge is for HR managers, directors, and youth talent managers to understand that culture is very critical. That culture is necessary to define, align, and get everyone to rally around it. That's the reason why they speak about culture eating up strategy. If culture is solid, strategy would not only not be consumed, but we work too well with culture to achieve greatness. Another, align leadership around people and team. Do this in a way that you understand the people, understand the power of the people you have, facilitate honest conversations, have one-on-ones that allow people to have voice, to share thoughts, to bring ideas. Do not take all of your ideas from the top. Great ideas sit at the bottom, in the middle, across the rooms, to the left and to the right. Bring everybody to the center and ensure that everybody is part of the organization. Leadership, top to bottom, bottom to top, bringing everybody, making it very inclusive. Again, activate programs that include people. I'll share again very lastly some of the things that we did in FITC that were transformational. For every single of those 6 P's that I had shared with you, we worked with people, we busted silos, created multifunctional teams, put people in the middle of those projects, irrespective of your team, unit, department. We had people drawn into one project or the other across each of every one of those P's we were building. What that did gave us the opportunity to pilot the programs, gave us the opportunity to bust silos, gave us the opportunity to be collaborative, it gave us the opportunity to identify great talents outside of our purview. And I would therefore charge all of us today, as I close on this slide, that as talent managers, truly be conscious of making diversity very important. Give voice irrespective of gender, irrespective of age, irrespective of divide. Make sure that everybody around your people have voice, have the confidence to belong, share the sense of belonging, and have the audacity to represent you. Lead with boldness, be very confident, and do more. This will help to move all of us beyond surviving, but thriving. But more importantly, as talent managers, driving significant impact into the work and mandates that we have and bringing value to our organizations, while also finding inspiration as well as accomplishment in what we do. I'm super delighted to be here today. Again, our visionary Dr. Motala, well done for the things that you do. For every single person, I always encourage, follow me on any part of these platforms, and you would learn much more because I do share on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and X. It's Chizor Malize across all platforms. Follow me today, and we would share more beyond today. Have a wonderful rest of the conference, and I wish that this journey would forever continue to light minds, light nations, light organizations, and light up individuals. Well done. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.
Place your hands together and appreciate the doctor. Thank you very much. Great. I'm sure we've been taking notes. These are inside HR, but even for life and for impact in daily living. Please put your hands together again one more time for the doctor. Thank you very much.